Hi, how are you, folks? Great to have you back. It's Rush Limbaugh and the Excellence in Broadcasting Network. This is the most listened to radio talk show in the country, and it's been that way for, well, heck, 23 years, 24 years, whatever. And there's no reason for that to change. It's great to have you here. The telephone number, 800-282-2882, and the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.com. No, I was not making this up. A vibrator giveaway that attracted long lines in New York City came to an abrupt end when the city told the promoters to pack it up. It was Trojan, the condom company, that they set up pleasure carts. That's what they're called here. They set up pleasure carts on Wednesday in 2 Manhattan neighborhoods, and they were all set to give away 10,000 vibrating sex toys. And nearly 300 people had lined up at each of these hot dog-style carts. That's what it says here, and it makes sense. They're made to look like the hot dog vendors, except they were giving away vibrators. Now, according to the New York Post, the giveaway was interrupted when a city representative told the promoters to shut down because of crowds. They weren't upset that they were giving away vibrators. It was at 300 people together at the cart. That was too much. And there was a woman in line who desperately wanted a vibrator. Her name was Melody. And she grumbled that Mayor Doomberg doesn't want anybody to have any fun here. You can't have a giant soda. You can't have a vibrator. What is this city for? And you can't have a smoke after the vibrator, by the way. So the city says that the event could resume at a later date if you just get the proper permits. Do you know that there was a vibrator permit that you could get in New York City? Well, apparently there is. Are they giving away vibrators at the Olympics? They're giving away condoms left and right. Anyway, back to the audio sound bites. We've got one more Bill Burton here. We had a question that Anderson Cooper put to him. There's even some in the mainstream media, even some, and I think just to give themselves cover. I said, come on, are you guys serious? Romney's responsible for this guy's wife dying. I mean, the woman had health insurance when she left. She was not fired. He was offered a buyout. They had ample opportunity for health insurance. It was 6 years after Romney left. She was diagnosed, or she felt uncomfortable, felt badly, but didn't go get it checked out. And you guys want to maintain, Mr. Burton, are you really serious that Romney is responsible for that? You made a commercial about Mitt Romney. It's all about this woman's tragedy. You're trying to link it. Why are you even talking about her? What is the purpose of this ad, Mr. Burton?
What we're saying is that at a moment of true concern and anxiety in a family, when Joe Soptic really needed health insurance for his family, he didn't have it. And that's the point here. He was promised health care benefits, and he lost them at a moment of true anxiety.
30-second spot about this. What are you saying? How can you imply that? It's totally disingenuous, Bill. Come on, you know that.
No, I just don't think that that's true. I think that Mitt Romney had an effect on these people's lives. When people take a look at it, when they hear the stories of these folks, they say, I don't want that guy to be president of the United States.
That's exactly what this is about. And it doesn't matter, again. They don't care that they're lying. It's no different. Look, Obama's out there saying, our plan worked. It's always been tough. It's tough, always been tough for honorable people to go up against people like this. There aren't very many smart people who know how to deal with this. And people who do not lie, people don't want to lie, people who don't engage in activity like this, that totally unethical, don't know how to deal with this. They sit there and they're stunned. He's just admitting all we want is people to think Romney had something to do with this. We don't care that he didn't. Anderson, you're not getting it here. We don't care that Romney had nothing to do with it. All we want is for people to realize that they don't want Romney to be president. He's not a nice guy. He doesn't care about them. We don't care what we have to say to make people think that. Stephanie Cutter. These people are lying through their face when they say that they didn't know the details of Soptic's story. Yesterday morning on CNN, on the Starting Point show, Stephanie Cutter, who is Obama's campaign man. And by the way, there's another aspect of this. And I don't, again, think it would amount to anything, but it's real. And that is the question of coordination. By law, the campaign can have nothing to do with the super PAC. But the campaign has run ads with this guy. There is a school of thought out there. There have been 2 ads featuring Soptic. One Soptic ad was run by the Obama campaign. The other one, the Romney killed his wife ad, was run by the super PAC. There is supposed to be no coordination. But people have analyzed the video. Soptic's wearing the same shirt in both ads. His hair is the same length, same glasses. His union, official union guy hard hat is in both ads. It looks like they're both done in the same place. So people say maybe these 2 ads, aired months apart, were shot the same day. So is it possible that the campaign is coordinating with the PAC in violation of federal election law? Of course it's possible. In fact, I would submit it's even likely. But who's going to do anything about it? I predict nobody is going to do anything about it. We can mention it. We can volley the allegation. They don't care. They're at it to make us stop. We don't care. We'll go ahead. We'll violate federal election law. Look at, man, we got to spare this country from Mitt Romney. Romney's the ultimate evil. And when you're trying to save the country from the ultimate evil, anything goes. There's no limits on what you can do when you're trying to spare this country experiencing evil. And that's their attitude. So here's Stephanie Cutter. She's with the campaign. She knows Soptic, worked on the first Soptic ad, having a discussion about the PAC ad, linking Romney to the death of the guy's wife. And the host, CNN, says this woman died in 2006. This ad basically accuses Romney of killing her. Is that the kind of rhetoric you want to hear in a campaign? Especially from the side of the President of the United States. You, the guys, are talking about raising the level of discourse, civility, new politics, post-partisanship. Is this really the kind of rot gut that you want in a campaign coming from your side?
I don't know the facts of when Joe Soptic's wife got sick or when she died.
Oh, really? I don't know the facts of when Soptic's wife got sick or when she died. Well, on a conference call in May, she was listening as Soptic told the same story. This is the steelworker, Joe Soptic, and Obama campaign manager Stephanie Cutter. Here's a portion of that call.
A little while later, she was diagnosed with lung cancer. I had to put her in a county hospital because she didn't have health care. And when the cancer took her away, all I got was an enormous bill. When you look at what Mitt Romney did at places like GST Steel, you can tell he's only worried about one group of people, and that's the people like him, people at the top. You can't expect much more from someone who says he likes to fire people with no concern about what their family really means. Now I'll turn the call back over to Stephanie.
Great. Thank you, Joe. We really appreciate you sharing your experiences.
Stephanie Cutter, that's May 14th of this year, on a call with Joe Soptic as he relates the same story as is in the ad. Yesterday, sound like 10 again, Mike. Yesterday, Stephanie Cutter said this.
I don't know the facts of when Joe Soptic's wife got sick or when she died.
A blatant lie, but they don't care. What are we going to do to them? What are you going to do to us? I didn't know his story. Miss Cutter, you were on the call when I don't know his story. I don't know the facts of when his wife got sick or when she died. Well, we just heard you on the call where he told the story back in May and even turns the call over to you. I don't know the facts of when his wife got sick. And so then people get exasperated. Speechless. What do we do? We had this problem with Clinton. What do you do with somebody who blatantly lies? What do you do? What did you do in high school when somebody blatantly lied? What do you do when your boss blatantly lies? I got fired once for calling him on it. I worked for a congenital pathological liar. And I didn't have any other problem with the guy. I just couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with the braggadocious lying stories. So one day, he starts in with these stories are all made to make it look big and important and all that. I said, look, don't tell me you don't know these people you're talking about. I finally ran into one. These guys never heard of you. And he was stumped, dumbfounded, didn't quite know what to say. I left. I got home. 30 minutes later, the owner of the radio station called and fired me. The people don't know how to deal with this. I called one of these type pathological liars on it, and I got fired. But most honorable people don't know how to deal with this. And when I say don't know how to deal with it, they don't know how to make these people pay for this. They don't know how to make sure there's a penalty. In this case, the campaign ought not get away with what they're doing. They're lying about, and there might be illegal coordination between the campaign and the super PAC. But that's going to require a charge being made and evidence being produced and going to the Federal Election Commission, and we'll get a result next April. Decision next April. So that's when people like me look to the Romney camp. Okay, you guys are going to have to do something about this. You can't rely on a bunch of faceless, nameless Tea Party people to get revved up. You can't. You're going to have to. You have to deal with this, and that means going after these people not on the fact that they lie, not complaining that they lie. You don't do it that way. You go out and you tell the truth about their destruction of the economy. You go out there and you tell the truth about the fact that they're incompetent and they don't know what they're doing, and they pose a great threat to the future of the country. All you have to, we've got the truth on our side, and that's Obama's economic record. We've got the truth. All we have to do is be unafraid to say it. Cutter, this is the same woman that called Romney a felon. Same woman who put the idea out there that Romney is a felon because he was still at Bain when he said he had left Bain. He was still there. She knows. She knows he's a tax-cheating felon. They're still running that ad, the Super PAC is, on their website. Peter Johnson is a lawyer, a legal analyst on the Fox News channel. This morning on Fox and Friends, they asked him about this. Allison Camerata, the guest host. She says, Stephanie Cutter says, that she doesn't know the details about this guy's wife's death and may not know about the details that it was 5 years later, but clearly she knows Joe Soptic. Is she running afoul of the law here, Peter?
Oh, it might be. Under the Federal Election Commission, there could be civil penalties and more. The issue is, what's the coordination between the formal campaign and an independent expenditure committee, a so-called super PAC that were created after the Citizens United decision at the United States Supreme Court? In my view, that quote, that tape recording shows a real awareness that they were coordinating.
Yeah, of course they are. But who's going to do anything about it? And to pile on, here's Soptic himself, January of this year. He's on a public TV program called Democracy Now! And there's the co-host, that's Amy Goodman. And she's interviewing. This guy has been a Democrat trick pony for I don't know how many months. He's a Democrat Party activist. He's not this beleaguered citizen. Reminds me of somebody else whose name I can't think of right now. What was her name? Anyway, yeah, that's it. But it's an activist. He's on a public TV program in January talking about this. And in this interview, he's talking about when Bain Capital bought his steel company, GST. And she said to him, Amy Goodman said, "So what happened, Mr. Soptic?"
They became very union non-friendly. I mean, they started looking for ways to eliminate jobs. In my case, in my department, they actually offered to buy our jobs out from underneath us.
Offered to buy out. Offered to buy out. Didn't just fire your little butt. They have offered a buyout. And you would have had the money to buy health insurance. Here's Sununu talking about this later on Fox.
Obviously, if that is true, then you have, again, dishonesty by omission by the Obama campaign and unfortunately by this gentleman whose tragedy we empathize with. But boy, if that turns out to be true, then what he has been griping about toward Mitt Romney is certainly a misrepresentation.
Oh, yeah, misrepresentation. Now I got to take a break here, folks. I'm way long. Be right back.